Prime here, back with another video review. And today we're taking a look at the Transformers Cyberverse Deluxe class Thunderhowl and the Ultra class Thunderhowl. So, yes, this is another one like the animated Megatron video where it's a comparison video, or double review, versus video, I don't know. We're talking about two toys. And so, a few weeks ago, the Cyberverse Season 4 premiere happened, and, you know, I thought I'd talk about something Cyberverse related since the end of the season's supposed to happen soon. I know it was leaked from, like, because it came out in Canada, but I think Netflix is supposed to get it, Monday. So, I think it's, like, the 20th or the 22nd, I can't remember one of them. So, be on the lookout for that. So, here's a Cyberverse video to hold you over, I guess. But yeah, I recently got the Ultra Class Thunderhowl toy, and I figured it'd be fun to compare these two and kind of talk about it, because there's a few interesting things, I think, here and there. But let's go ahead and we will just look at them both together. So as you can see, these are two very different toys. We have this one right here. It is sporting a like blue and gold color scheme with like red accents, and it's still really nice. The gold is all molded, so like the areas that are gold are molded, so the rest of it's painted, except for the shield here. But like, for example, this whole piece is molded in the gold, and it's painted, and it's really clean. Like the shoulder spikes and everything, the knee pads, like everything's real nice. The sculpting on here is okay. It's very minimal. You can see there, like, there's just nothing happening. We'll get more into that with this figure later, but I do love the head sculpt on the actual wolf head, and then the shield here is really nice, or back for now. He does have an opening mouth and even a tongue. And the reason he has the tongue, I'm just gonna leave you like that for a minute, just nom, is because he has a blast effect, which what I love about the Cyberverse Deluxe is they all come with unique blast effects. The only downside is that means you can't use it with like any toy. Like I can't bust out like a Siege Sideswipe and plug this onto his gun. It's specific to this character. But you just take it, slide it in, and now he's doing the Thunderhowl Thunderin', which I do think is pretty cool. Articulation, there's really no like head swivel, but it can look up that far, down that far. Like I just mentioned, you can open the jaw really far, or you can even just use this extra joint to get that going. These are, of course, the robot mode arms, so they have all the posability that you would expect from the arms. Same thing with the legs. Pretty much everything you would expect to see. And so you can do at least a little bit with it. Like, these aren't super posable in terms of the beast modes, which is a bit unfortunate. It's mostly because of the head. Like, I hate how a lot of beast formers, they don't have a neck swivel for, like, the beast mode head. It's an issue in Kingdom and, like, pretty much any line that has beast formers. So it's, like, it's just kind of an issue for me. But then here we have the Ultra Class Thunderhowl, which, as you can see, is a little bit bigger, a bit chunkier. You can see he's also green, sporting a, like, kind of dark green, sort of like a green brawl would be, with, like, some metallic blue accents and some silver. But yeah, he has a fairly nice head sculpt, too. I do really like it. The mouth does open, but this is all a bit more weird because this whole bit here can pop off. But yeah, it just kind of goes from, like, stock closed to there to here, and then just all the way out. So like this isn't as smooth to use, which is quite unfortunate. But again, paint is still really nice. Nice auto brand there. He does have this whole cape on the back, which you can simply pop off, which if you want, it can sort of, yeah, it can fit there. If you want to use it for that. He's going to sit there with a cape for right now. Yeah, articulation on this guy, very similar, you know. These are all robot limbs. So you got the arms, and you got the legs. Just these all bend and move and stuff, and then the tail. He can point it up. He might not have an ability to shoot thunder out of his mouth, but he zap. You can do that. I'm gonna get this off him. So he's like, I'd say he's about on par in terms of posability. honestly, these all modes sort of remind me of, like, more than meets the eye Ravage, especially this one. But yeah, just for some scale so you can get a sense of how big these guys are. Here they are with Retro Chrome Dome. And you can see, like, of course, that is a Deluxe. This is a bit more in the Voyager height range, but it's like a bigger Deluxe or Voyager kind of deal. Still a good size. Yeah, so I guess in terms of like which is better in beast mode, I don't know. Like I'm sort of equal on them. I think maybe the Deluxe one, just because the articulation's a bit more smooth in some places. So, but also like again, I do really like the paints that's for show on this mode, which of course a lot of it's in robot mode, but you get all this nice blue and the gold is really done, and this face sculpt is very great. I think they're both pretty good though. But if I had to pick one, in terms of beast mode, I think the Deluxe one I like a little bit more. So yeah, speaking of which, let's go ahead and get them transformed, which we're going to take this one out for a minute. So we can do the Deluxe one. Now, this transformation, it's like about the same as a regular beast former, but it's also kind of overcomplicated. It's really weird. So first, you do want to pop this off. I think you can have the transformation with this on. I'm not sure. Maybe. You know, let's actually try it. Let's keep it on. Let's see where we get to. All right. So first, let's just take these shoulder pads and swing them down. Rotate the fists to accommodate. Which I just realized they look like the same fist from both sides. These down. You got the arms. Come to the legs. Fold that down. Fold this up. Flip out the knee pad. Just get everything straight. Same over here. Fold out the knee pad. Flip that down. And now he looks really freaking weird. So when I come into these sections, untab them, just kind of move them up on both sides. Just for now. You can take this. Oh, my bad. You take this whole assembly and move it up. And then this should be able to untab, like right in there. You gotta pull up. There you go. Pull that up, and you take the whole thing and you basically close it on itself. What you need to do while you're doing it is move these arms. Go straight in here. Move these arms to this outward joint, and then take each leg, and they should they should fold in like that. So you're taking it, and you're moving it along there. And you are tabbing them together. Then, actually, you might want to push these in individually. Then tab these together. Which is really weird. I don't think I've seen a beast former do that. I don't know if it's a bad thing. It's just very odd. But anyways, bring the arms down. Take the chest. You want to accordion the beast head down. Flip these in. You take the tail. There's a bit of green there. I don't know if mine's like yellowed or if I got green paint on this, because I'd believe either one. But what's really neat is you want to open the tail, and inside is the sword, which I think is really nice weapon storage. It stores right there on the inside, which I think is pretty clever. And the tail also unfolds to be the cape that he has in robot mode, which I think is pretty nice. Fold this whole bit down. Just kind of, I guess you can keep this piece however you want it. Get him all situated. And so here he is in robot mode. So we got one, which I can get him to stand. Come on, there you go. Which his transformation, like I said, is really weird and like strangely complicated, but it's also interesting. I don't know if interesting is good, but it's interesting. Let's get him out of here for a second. Move on to this boy. Now, since this is an ultra class figure, it's a lot easier to transform, but you'll notice it's very similar in a few places. So for one, you can just go ahead and take off the tail, and like, you don't have to take the tail off, but it improves the robot mode a lot to do so. And I think the box even like encourages you to do so, but you don't have to. So you want to come back here, you fold, you want to like kind of grab the hips like this, then push this piece up. move these down, and you want to take it, it's on this little accordion, you want to like push each side in to get it to sit like flush on both sides. Then you can just fold that back down, take each leg, flip it up, flip up the knee, rotate around the armor, both sides, flip that up, fold that down, rotate around the armor. It'd actually be easier if you keep the knee spike out of the way. So move the camera up because he's doing, I don't know what he's doing something. I don't know what. Take the arms, just bring them down, rotate that and that around, just kind of get them all straight on both sides. Then take the neck, flip it down, and then here you have this Thunderhowl in his robot mode, which his transformation is a lot simpler, but it also does share, like, it kind of takes the old transformation and like decomplicates it a little bit, and I kind of prefer it. Like, it isn't like super complicated or weird and like adds a bunch of kibble. Like, it's very clean. Like, without the cape and all, like, there's nothing else there. Like, granted, you do have to parts form the tail to do it, but, you know, I don't think it's too bad. But let's bring him both in. We can see them both. And get him to stand. Come on. Come on. Come on. You won't stand. It's your big show. You won't even stand. Can I get you to... Come on. Come on. Come on, man. Yeah, here they both are in their robots modes. And I do think these both look really good in their own kind of unique ways. We'll get there in a minute. But anyways, just for a sense of size, once again, let's bring in Retro Chrome Dome. So you can see, like, of course, Thunderhowl is from the Deluxes, so he is a Deluxe. Ultra Class is a bit more between Deluxe and Voyager. Kind of varies figure to figure. So, there you go. But just like the Beast modes, we'll go ahead and take a look at the Deluxe one in Robot mode first. And I can say, I really, really like this head sculpt. It is so nice. Like, again, it's all molded in gold. So, like, the blue, the yellow, the silver, that's all just part of it. And I think it's just done really well. Like, I can say the paint on this figure is superb. Like, in terms of its application, it's really good. Absolutely love it. However, one thing I don't like about this figure is the fact that, like, the sculpted detail is extremely lacking. Like, you look at the arms here. We'll get into that one in a second to kind of show you a bit more. I mean, we get to the arms here, and it's like, yeah, I like the silver paint there, but the only sculpted detail is the little indents. And, like, there's, like, nothing on the sides. There's, like, of course, there's the shoulder pads with a little bit going on, but it's, like, everything else is so bare, and a lot of the, like, lines in this is mostly just for the transformation. But, like, of course, again, you got, like, these that have some decent sculpted detail and right there, but then the rest of the leg is just bare. There's nothing happening. But articulation on this boy, the head does go side to side, but not a full 360. Arms can go full 360 there, but this piece might flip up. You can move them out, but, like, it's kind of difficult with the armor, but you can position the armor. Popping his arm off. You can, like, move the armor around, so maybe you can get something out of it. Arm, come on. There we go. There we go. I don't know why his arm's popping off. I usually don't have that issue. But I usually don't try to move just the shoulder pad. He does sort of have a butterfly joint just due to the transformation. It's not a big one, but, like, sort of counts. Anyways, elbows can go about 90 degrees. There's a bicep swivel and a wrist swivel that can point down because it's on a ball joint. Nothing at the waist, unfortunately, but the hips do move all the way up. They can't really move back just due to the tail, which I did take off the shield bit, by the way. In between cuts, he fell over, and I spent 5 minutes trying to stand him up. So I was like, you know what, I'll make him slightly less back here to help me out. But what you can do is you can, like, take this and close it. It can kind of be like a third leg for support. Or you can just keep it to one side. Might help you with the leg articulation bit, but, you know, as it's supposed to be, you can't really go back. But anyways, legs can move out a little bit. They can move more out if you do it like that. There is a swivel there at the thigh and a knee bend that sort of does that weird locking thing. So it's like you're a little bit specific, and then these feet are ball jointed, which is also part of why these have such a big issue, is because these are ball jointed and these are fairly loose, and they don't really have like a molded way to stay with the leg while you move it, so it's a bit wonky. But yeah, articulation's mostly decent. Basically about standard with a few limitations here and there. Come on, don't be, just lean on the backdrop. You're fine, you're hanging out. Now for the Ultra Class one, I do also like his head sculpt, but I can't say the paint, didn't put the camera up high enough, but I can't say the paint isn't as nice. Like, there's still some nice silver, and the metallic blue is really great, but the eyes aren't painted, and that really bothers me. Like, you painted them on the wolf head, and they look amazing, but come on, he needs the yellow eyes. Might go back and do it myself. Yeah, as you can see on him, unlike the Deluxe one, there's a lot of nice sculpted detail. Like, it isn't like War for Cybertron trilogy levels of sculpted detail, but it's not McDonald's toy. Like, there's like some lines going on, and like here there's some stuff with the nice metallic blue accents going on the chest. Even there's like little rivets, and like it looks like he's wearing armor, like he should. Even the thighs have some nice detail going on, and the legs are sort of bare, but I think the decent amount of paint for the color breakup makes it work. Anyways, let's go ahead and do his articulation. Now, unfortunately, just due to the fact that this is an Ultra Class figure that has the whole Energon armor thing going on, he cannot move his head, which is my main major flaw with this toy, is the fact that he has no neck. If this had a neck, I'd be like way more in love with it. I do still like it though. But anyways, the arms do a full 360. They can't move out, but once again, the armor moves too, so you can kind of get around it. Camera's going out. Come on. Focus. Focus on the green man. Thank you. He has a about 90-degree elbow, bicep swivel. Wrist is on a ball joint, but it can point down. There's nothing at the waist once again, and you technically can get a bit of like extra hip movement from these if you want to, but they're kind of weird, and I do hate how they don't tab in, so you will constantly just pop them out. But anyways, the legs can go up that far. If you move the butt plate, they can go back that far. They can go out, or even more out if you use that again. And of course, you can move the arm out of the way and kind of get a bit more going on. But the knees do bend. There's a swivel there. And then the feet are on an actual hefty ball joint in there. Look, yeah, like the big ball right there. It's a hefty ball joint where they can actually point a little bit and go back a bit. And then they have a decent tilt. So these ankles are a lot better. And they're huge feet with like proper heels. So their articulation's about the same, except again he's missing the head, but at the same time he stands way easier than him. So I really don't know who to win here. Like I guess they both be about tied, just because everything's the same except for like one or two small details. But the main big things they each have one big limitation or something that hurts them. So guess that's it for that one. My camera went sideways. Don't need that to happen. But anyways, let's bring him back in so we can get to his gimmicks and whatnot. I'm going to lower the camera and not even try to stand him because he's not cooperating today. So, of course, he does have his accessories like the shield, which I do think looks quite nice. There are options to mount it to his arm, but what I actually like to do is just utilize the fact that he can position his fist down, so he has like a handheld shield. And then he does have a wee little sword, which I think is very cute. Very nice. So it's a bit of detail back there. It is quite small. I do wish it was a little bit bigger. Guess that's what she said, but you know. But yeah, he has a wee little sword. Oh yeah, he also does come with like the head of McAdam, but I didn't bring that out for this because it doesn't really pertain to this toy too much. But you can bring the gimmick, you can bring the blast effect back, and you can just slide it into the sword. Maybe there's a certain slot. There's like actually a little slot in here that it goes into. Come on. There we go. And now you can electrify, you know. He's the new Jolt. Sorry, Jolt, your purpose is gone. But yeah, now he can shock you when he stabs you. It's a shocking revelation, isn't it? But yeah, I do really like the blast effect with this guy, just because I think the whole shocking thing is really neat. Bring this bit down. Yeah, even the shield. I think the shield is really nice, and I love how you can like have it be handheld too, because you don't really see it like a handheld shield too often in Transformers. Usually it's like an arm-mounted shield or like something like that. So I think it's pretty fun to see. Let's put him back. And then for Ultra Class Thunderhowl, let's bring the camera back up. This poor camera moving this tripod so much. So like I mentioned earlier, he does have the Energon armor gimmick, which how you have to actually use it is you have to actually pull this off, which is really strange, and then you can flip it up, because I can't get it to where the armor fits over this part of the beast head, and even in the package it's because separate. This comes like packed separate, so I don't totally understand it, but he does have the whole armor thing, which is a thing. No one cares. No one, like, we all thought it was cute when Clobber did it, but that's about it. We all stopped liking it immediately after it happened. Like, I have an issue with getting it back in too. I'm doing it the wrong way. But yeah, you just kind of. Come on, there we go. But while I have this off, I will show that the sword was also in the tail, just like on the other one, which I do think is neat. Though it is a bit odd how it's done, but it is for a pretty cool reason. But you can actually take the beast head and plug it into the sword, which I do think looks quite nice. You can do it either way. You can do it that way. Get it out. Or you can do it the other way, which I think is really fun. Of course, from the side or from the back, it looks really bad. Which this is the slot you do it in, by the way. But I think it's fun. I think it's a fun addition. Let me just get it out. God, I usually don't have this much of an issue getting it off. There we go. Just gonna plug that back on. But yeah, the sword itself, it's actually a clear blue instead of the gold, which I do think looks pretty nice. Kind of has that same electricity thing, which this doesn't work with the blast effect piece. Sadly, the sword, like it kind of, you know, like it gets thick at the end. But yeah, he can hold his sword fairly nicely. I do think this sword is sized a bit better. Like, I do still think it should be a hair longer, but it's fine. But what's really neat about this is that they actually portray this as being like a sheath for the sword, so you can plug it into his hip. So again, it's like a sheath for the sword, which I think is really neat. Really, really fun addition. So I may actually do it on the other hip. Drop it in the process. Don't do it this way. Yeah, I think it's really neat. Like, we don't really see sheaths on characters these days. Like, the only one we ever see it on is a Windblade toy, so I think it's neat seeing it on him. And of course, he does come with the cape, which I haven't mentioned for a long, long time in this video. Which is, like, this kind of soft plastic or, like, hard rubbery material. So it does have a bit of flex to it. But there is some decent sculpted detail. Like, it has this whole nice rivet thing going on down there, going on up here. I think it's great. But anyways, these two ports go into these two holes. You can plug it in like so, and you get the full effect going on, which I do think this looks great. My real main issue is the fact that this is like super close to the body, and especially with these bits, to where you can't really pose him too much with it on. Like, granted, his head articulations kind of screw him with the posability anyways, but you can't do as much as you'd really want to, just because the cape kind of gets in the way of the legs. But I do still think he looks fairly cool with it on, even just standing there in the distance, just this night. But yeah, it really sucks because, like, the head articulation is probably the main thing that draws this toy back for me. Because, like, yeah, the cape is a bit unfortunate, but, like, I could honestly get over it. Just because, like, again, I can't move the head. Like, I can do all these cool poses, but he's just going to be looking stock straight. I could be pointing the sword at you, but he's just going to be like, oh, there's a fly over there. Maybe just swat that thing. But yeah. Now, one thing I think is fairly interesting, I mentioned it in the beginning, where the colors are different. And what's I think is really weird about it is that Cyberverse, for the most part, the toys are accurate to the show in the sense of, like, the colors for the most part. Like, you got even the one steps, they're accurate. Even the other characters that came out around this time that were new, or at least around the time of the deluxe one, like Wild Wheel, Meteor Fire, and what is it? I can't Hammer Strike. Transformers Aquaman. That's who it is. It's a collaborative series figure before collaborative series was a thing. But I saved the box for this reason. But neither one of the Thunderhowls is the right color scheme. So let me actually bring it up here just so you can see it a bit better. Which my camera is still. Come on, man. Come on, man. But like as you can see, it's supposed to be like a dark gray. But it's really weird because like this one's nowhere near it, and then this one's part of the way there. Because like he has the metallic blue accents, and then even the yellow eyes on the beast mode, which I think both of them do. But it's like the cape is gray on this, or like a gunmetal color, whereas it's red there, and then he's green. So I don't fully understand what's happening. I think what it might be, which I have no proof to back this up, and maybe it's just a theory, where it's sort of like the Bumblebee movie toys, where like they were all based on the concept art before they actually finished the designs for the movie. And I think maybe that's it for Thunderhowl. Like maybe the rest of them didn't change all that much or like at all, but then Thunderhowl for some reason was the one guy they kept going back to the drawing board for. Or maybe it's a weird thing like Age of Extinction where it was those dark colors and they're in for the Dinobots and they're like, we don't want to have a bunch of toys that look like that are just dark colors, so they just made them whatever. I don't know which one it is, but it's a weird thing that Thunderhowl bears every day. And you know, you gotta respect that. He can give you, unlike everyone else in Cyberverse, he can give you two very similar but very different experiences with his toys. Now, in terms of which one of these you should buy, I don't know. Like, I think overall I prefer the Ultra Class one. They're both about the same. Like, they're actually re-releasing the Ultra Class one in the new stuff with like the Dinobots Unite subline, which I had no idea. I was super surprised when I saw this Target. But you can find him that way. The Cyberverse Deluxe one, I don't know if it's hard to find anymore. If it is, maybe it's also getting reissued. I don't know. Only time will tell. But yeah. Again, I do think these two are still fine. They both have their fair share of issues, but they're Cyberverse toys. They're not really collector things. They're just for fun. These are fun toys. Like they're if you have a kid that might want them, totally, they're fun. Again, they're worth it. They're a good time. But yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much all I have to say. So, be sure to check out my channel for more video and custom reviews, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can also come check out my Facebook and Tumblr pages, linked in the description below. You can also come join the Infinite Sun Discord server, also linked in the description below. And this is the 14th Prime, signing out.